Baker Mayfield's getting pretty good at apologizing at post-game press conferences. Cece, should the NFL be worried about Baker Mayfield's antics?
No, I wouldn't be worried about him. The reason why is because he can play, of the 22 positions on the field, he can play 21 of them and not have to worry about this if this was as far as if you're worrying about his character.
Okay.
There's only one reason why you're worried about it, because he's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like if he was a wide receiver or running back, you'd be like, hey, man, the guy was involved in the game. The guy's fiery and everything. But rumor has it he had a little jock itch. That's what he was telling the guys about. Hey, man, I got a little jock itch. Like the guys were like, no, I don't believe you. So then he tried to plead his case a little more.
Why has he got an itch?
Cece, you're saying
because he's a jock.
You wouldn't.
There you go.
You wouldn't be worried about it. But, man, you are not the typical NFL GM, the anonymous scout we hear from all the time, the anonymous front office guy. And I feel like these guys, in my experience, especially with quarterbacks, are always looking for potential, quote, character issues, unquote, to tear guys down with. And when you add to the fact, I don't care that he planted the flag, but I'm sure that ruffled some feathers. I do care a little bit that he ran from the cops, resisted arrest, got arrested and hit with 4 charges in the offseason. And now this, in a game, listen, I know Kansas wouldn't shake his hand. I know they took a really cheap shot on him during the game. And I know he was fired up. Even though you wouldn't be worried about it, don't you think there are NFL teams right now, at least some, looking at him and saying, a little too much Johnny Manziel for my taste?
He's not Johnny Manziel. He was actually a walk-on. All right, he's earned the respect. He earned the scholarship. I think he walked on at Texas Tech, right? And then he
was a walk-on.
Yes. And then, so I think his characteristics are totally different. I don't think that he's as privileged as Johnny was, all right? And I think that the other things that Johnny did off the field were far more glaring that people didn't report. Now, NFL, will they mark him down because of his height? Yes. Will they use these things that he might not be drafted as high? But ultimately, it's about being able to play. Johnny Manziel was drafted what? 21?
20, yeah, in the 20s.
In the 20s? Like, so how much did it hurt him? All right, Baker Mayfield is going to win the Heisman Trophy.
Do you think it'll cost him any Heisman votes?
No, he's got a huge lead. That doesn't matter. I don't think it's going to matter.
Here's my point on this, because I want to be consistent. Because on the Baker Mayfield topic, all I'm going to ask for from commentators, GMs, front office executives is consistency. I am very consistent in giving, especially young athletes, particularly college athletes, a wide margin of error on immaturity. So I'm going to lump this into the immaturity pile. Like, anything short of, like, I didn't like when the stuff Jameis was accused of, people called that immaturity, because if he did that, that's serious criminal action. This is just immaturity. This is stupid jock stuff. So I can be consistent with that. What's going to bother me, and already started to bother me yesterday, was some commentators that I've seen be very harsh on players, look for reasons to give Baker a pass because they like Baker Mayfield, because he's a fiery competitor, and a pass that I don't think other guys would get. I wouldn't freak out about this, but I wouldn't freak out about a lot of the stuff anonymous GMs, front office scouts freak out about during the draft.
I also think that we're getting to a time where maybe it's different than what we were talking about, but I think NFL GMs are sort of leaning the other way, and they're being more lenient with letting kids who have a lot of issues or off-the-field issues, whatever, come into the draft. Maybe they slip it a little bit. But we saw a lot of that last year with a bunch of guys that came in with sort of colorful backgrounds and records on and off the field play. But I guess my question to you about Baker would be, how does this kid project to the next level?
Well, he's going to be drafted in the NFL. The thing about his height.
Yeah.
Right, his height will be held.
Right?
His height will be held against him. I stood next to him before the Ohio State-Oklahoma game. He's probably, when he gets to the combine, he's probably going to lose an inch. He's like 6 foot.
Yeah.
You know, probably a little bit taller than Russell Wilson. The difference between him, he has the body like Russell Wilson, not the body like Johnny Manziel. So height, it is important, but he has more girth. You can tell that he's into a weight training program. You can tell with his body. You can tell how he responds during the game, that he can play physical. So they are a little bit different as far as him and Manziel. He has a body a lot like Russell Wilson, though I was very impressed with.
You mentioned Big 12 doesn't have DBs. Big 12 doesn't have a lot of track record of success of their quarterbacks with gaudy numbers translating to the next level. That'll hurt him as well.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.